It's Labor Day weekend, and it's time to talk the pink salmon river transition as many of you requested. I want to first start off by saying there's going to be one lucky viewer at the end of this video who will have a chance to win this Gibbs Humpy Pack that works great for this transition time for tidewater fish. So you're going to want to watch all the way through if you want to win this yourself. So we're talking pinks in the rivers. And frankly, at this point, we're talking the lower tidewater fisheries because we haven't had a ton of rain, which means a lot of these fish are starting to push into the rivers just based on timing of the year, but they're going to kind of get stuck in those lower areas. This means a great opportunity to capitalize on some really cool days on the water, catching a lot of fish and getting to pick and choose the ones that you want to bring home. Boat fishing or bank, this doesn't really matter any longer. You can have great success off the shore as well as in the boat to find where these fish are going to be. We're going to talk about the gear, we're going to talk about the technique, what you need to do, and how easy this is to get set up. We're going to start with the gear. This is one of my favorite things to do because it becomes back to the basics. We're going with a simple 7-foot bass rod. I'm going to do a full video on this one, but it's essentially a 7-foot medium action bass rod. I picked this up specifically for pinks this year because I wanted to have kind of more of a uniform rod that'll be my twitching rods for the boat or off the shore. It's rigged up with a 2000 size reel, 8-pound test line, and I got my little jig here, which I'll touch base in a minute. But the whole point of having a one-piece rod versus going the two-piece route is that it has a little bit more just feel on the twitching side. That being said, one of my favorite twitching rods to use is a little trout rod because we're going light line, light jigs. And the whole point is creating an enticing action as these jigs almost swim in the water. You will watch schools of these pinks as they come through chasing it to the bank. It is one of the most exciting pieces and what I grew up doing, frankly, here in the Northwest on the Snohomish River. So we're going to take the same technique and show you guys exactly how it's done. Now, when you start breaking down gear, away from the rod setup. Again, any simple spinning setup with the light line, you probably already have a trout rod that's going to do this for you. So no need to buy specialized gear. I just like to say downsize a little bit. What we end up doing the next is picking a jig. And this could be, in this case, a marabou. It could be a squid jig, right? It could be a squid jig just like this guy, which is very popular. And they come in different colors and varieties, so you can totally mix and match based on the situation of river conditions. But at the end of the day, it's more about the action and getting on these fish. When you're in the tidal water, especially around those high tides, and if you look for the big tides early in the morning or late in the evening, and then if you look around the moon chart as well, you can start to predict when there's going to be bigger pushes of these fish into the lower river. They will flood in with that high tide, and you can be in certain areas of the river that are tidally affected, even some way pretty far up as far as distance in the river. Depending on where you're at, it could be an hour after the high tide, but those fish finally start piling in. But you just pay attention to that. I've always done well off the shore earlier in the morning because those fish are sensitive to that light initially. If you're at a boat, you can go chase the fish and it gives you a little more freedom. Go find your fish, go scout it out off the bank, and once you know that they're there, that's where we focus on your technique. So, you picked your jig, and the reason why I like marabou is it's not secret, but it has a unique, enticing action that squid doesn't. In the water, that tail comes alive. You can put a little bit or a lot of it, and that action will drive these fish nuts. So I'm twitching, and you'll see in the video footage here, it's not crazy. This jig right here is a 3/8 ounce. It's got a little bit of hypervis tape for a collar, and that helps get a little bit of flash. I put some flash in there. Now that's a 3/8. For many years, and I still use these, so I'm going to give away a secret here. This is one of the best lures for pink salmon on a 6 pound test line. Old crappie jigs. They're not the best hooks, so that's why you're using light line, but these freaking work. Hundreds of fish caught in a day just on these guys. It's like $3, $4 for a whole cart of these, and you can just go stock up and be ready to go. So those work really, really well and give you an awesome action that in a lot of times outfishes the squid jigs. When you're limited though off the bank, that's why you start going with a little bit heavier heads like this 3/8 ounce over a quarter. But a lot of the times the quarter ounce will work great. You can also then go, if you're out of a boat, sometimes that 1/8 ounce gives enough hesitation pause as you go and then twitch that that little hover is what gets your fish to bite. But again, it's just a twitch, twitch, twitch with not a lot of reeling in between, and you can really entice those fish. Some alternatives, if you're down lower, the small size 2-inch buzz bomb works great because you can cast this further and you can get to those schools that are coming in. Some of these tidewater times, they're going to be cruising. You can see all of them jumping. This might be your chance to get in front of those fish. You can use the humpy spoons. You can cast Dick Knights, wicked lures. There's a lot of options for lure fishing outside of the jigs. However, what I will say in a river situation, a twitch and jig almost works better because of the way you can get that action. But, and I say but, because you can go about with a lure, let's say a wicked or a Dick Knight, that brings in a horizontal presentation. Therefore, you can stay in front of those fish for longer. Gives you a really good opportunity. Now, here's what's cool about this. If you like to bass fish or walleye fish, there's a good chance you already have some of this gear, or it's really easy to build your own. Go to your local Cabela's, go to wherever you buy your tackle stuff at, and you can find some of these jigs. These are walleye jigs, and they work great for pinks. You don't need anything fancy. You can get yourself set up with some different colors. The chartreuse is a killer. Purple, we've talked about this before in some of the other videos. You can do some different things and just get some simple squid skirts if you want and build your own jigs. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. And I have a video that I'm going to show this week as well on how you can tie your own stuff from a special little store and save tons of money. So we're going to do this on a budget for a lot of you anglers. This is how I got started. And to this day, I still have boxes of my Tide stuff from years ago. It's just that fun. You don't lose a ton of gear. And if you do, it's so inexpensive fishing that light stuff that really doesn't bother if you break a few off or lose a few on fish. What it is for me, it becomes river fishing is an enjoyment of trying to see how many we can catch in a day. Maybe it's, bringing friends and family along and you get to share that experience with everybody. So that is to me so enjoyable. Let's talk about locations real quick. So Tidewater, okay? I'll use the Snohomish River system. There's the Skagit, there's the Duwamish, there's all these different places you can go. The Duwamish River, for example, or the Snohomish, has lower water sections of the river that a lot of these fish are within easy casting distance for the bank angler. So you just have to be in the right place to be presenting your gear to them. Using the right setup and being able to have your proper presentation going to them, you're going to be in the fish. I have a lot of video to show you guys from the shore, and I'm excited because that's how I've done this for almost my whole life before we got a boat. So I've had that chance to really develop those skills and learn with the pinks how easy this can be. And it makes it a lot of fun. Truly, when you're fishing these fish on light line and you're hooking them, it really is an enjoyable experience. So, and you never know, you could also catch a silver too. It has happened quite a bit on that light gear. When you start customizing your own gear, you can bring in your own flair, adding different colors. You don't have to make anything complicated. Pinks, love pink, pink and white, the contrast, the combinations can be the ticket. So, where are you going to fish this weekend? And you want to win this pack? So if you want to win this pack for your river fishing this weekend, all you got to do is this. Like the video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and comment below what river you're going to be chasing these fish in, and I will pick a random winner tomorrow, Saturday, and we will get this out in the mail. Tell me what you guys want to see. I love hearing the comments below, and I'm going to try and make every single video that I can to help you guys learn as much as possible. Tight lines and fish on.